Hello. Kaizer Chiefs are faced with a decision. They have a decision to make, and these changes will have to be made if Kaizer Chiefs really take football seriously. And some of the decisions that we'll talk about are obviously obvious, but some of these decisions, some people might disagree with them. And also, I'm quite sure that some of you will have your own decisions that you think Kaizer Chiefs should make come July 2024, because the way things are going, it's clear that changes need to be made. It's just that, are they going to make these changes? And if we look at the first and most important thing that Chiefs needs to change right now, it's not the coach. Ne? We will talk about the coach in a moment. But for now, the most important thing that Kaizer Chiefs needs to change is their structure in leadership. You see, that is number one. That is the number one thing that Kaizer Chiefs needs to change. Because if the management, if we continue running things and doing things the way that they've been doing them, then this whole situation is not going to make any difference. And we saw a few days ago, after the derby, I think it was Bantu Holomisa, who's known to be a very big Kaizer Chiefs fan, or I don't know which politician, but it's one of the politicians. I think it's Bantu Holomisa. He was saying that Chiefs should sell the club to someone else. Personally, even though I think that might help a bit, I don't think it's a realistic one. And you know me, Uguti, I always want to talk about things that I think are realistic. And in this case, I do not think ever, not once do I think that Kaizer Chiefs will at any point be firing or be selling the club to someone else. Because once again, we saw that Kaizer Mtaung Senior had the, what's this thing? He was a, something is not right. My stream is not showing. For whatever reason, I even stopped. Oh, I thought the stream wasn't live. It's not showing. Anyways, I stopped for a second because I went to YouTube. I'm trying to see if the stream is live. It's not showing. By showing up. So I'm saying that one of the things, sorry to those who are stopped, Uguti, I don't think that Chiefs is going to be selling the club to anyone anytime soon. In fact, ever. Because I think it's been established a long time ago that the team does not want to sell. Because, once again, we've talked about this, they want to have control. So if there is anyone out there dreaming and thinking that Kaizer Chiefs would ever sell the club to someone else, that's not going to happen. So instead, Bona, if they love the team and they want to see the club progress, even if they don't sell it, they just have to be honest with themselves and say, you know what? We've tried running this thing with the family business in mind, and it hasn't worked. So let's stop forcing this. Let's now leave the professionals to do the professional work. We move away from trying to run the team, be football manager, be sporting director, be what across there. Hire someone who's actually trained or who understands how to do that job specifically. Because once you have that situation, then you are leaving this thing off day to day to people who know how to do this thing. Do not force to hold on to power, even though you see that you are destroying your own legacy, because this is their own legacy. And I feel like as a family, these people should sit down and say, you know what is more important? Is it for us to be there in the forefront and be seen every day in matches, or is it the club, the Kaizer Chiefs name, or the Kaizer name shining above every other thing in South African football? Because if they do that, then they can still manage the club. They can still be in charge of how much money is given there. They can still go to press conferences and say, yeah, the brand is growing. They can still get appointed in these high positions that Abo Jessica are doing. But just let go of the day-to-day running of the club, footballing wise. Deal with business, because the truth is we have seen that Jessica Mtaung is so good in business, is so good in getting brands. I mean, this lady we're talking about, I keep on stressing this. This lady turned people who were against Scapa, right? Because people were saying, hey, we're not gonna buy the Kappa jersey. Hey, why did you leave Nike? Everyone was talking about Kappa. Kappa was trending for like 3 weeks after it was released, or even more. That kit is beautiful. To this day, we still look at it and say, wow, this kit is well designed. And she made sure that people fell in love with the kit, because she's just that good in what she does, releasing the warm-up kit. And then people are like, hey, we wonder what the main jersey will look like. What is that? Marketing. She is good at that. So run the business. Go all in the business side. Go all in and make sure that we are still getting money as a club. We are still the biggest team, right? There. But the only thing that they should just accept and move on, leave the footballing side to people who understand football. I'm going to go to point number 2, but since this is a live stream and I want to engage with people, I'm going to now read the comments. Starting with Umesi Oteola and Wang Chelgut, it's live. Usposet is saying, one hire a qualified and experienced sporting director and Kaizer Jr. can learn under him or her. Exactly. That's another thing, Guti. It does not necessarily mean you fire him, but Kaizer Mtaung Jr. can be an understanding and see, Guti, how does this man do these things, or how does this lady do these things. The problem though with Kaizer Mtaung Jr. learning from this person is that that person might also feel like the guy is interfering, because my job is to be the sporting director and Wena as my boss, but also as a student, someone who's trying to learn from me. You know, now it's like there's conflict of interest. Are you my boss or are you learning from me? So I think they should just distance themselves. He can obviously watch how this man or woman does the job. So I think it's as easy as that. The first one. Uncle's Corner is saying Puda Ukahiso is saying Ola. Brian is saying you are spot on. The biggest problem is Mtaung's obsession with being in control. And Ukahiso is saying I agree with you. Say, yeah, what Brian, what you are saying? We've been saying this a lot. Control, being in control is the thing that they want, and it's said. And then Messi is saying, ngaphelelwa my opinion on what Chiefs need to do, because they once said it's a family business. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Guti. We know, we have established this is a family business, and they do not care much about what we think as fans, because it's Timiagub or Polalam. But at the same time, surely they should see by now. I mean, in the 8 years of the Kaizer Chiefs drought, we have seen this. We have seen that. We have seen that. We have seen all the sadness in their faces. But you know what we've never seen until Saturday? We had never seen them actually cry. And we saw one of them crying, which is Jessica Mtaung. And once that pain that I saw, if it was really genuine, if that's the pain that she was truly feeling, and Jessica as one of, I think, is smarter than all of them, I think she's gonna say, you know what? This is nonsense. What we've been doing is nonsense. We need to change now. This is enough. This is enough. This is a family business. ML is saying, hey, Mr. CEO, who was the sporting director of Kaizer Chiefs from 2010 to 2014, because the ship started sinking at 2015. You know what? We never... These things of our sporting director, please like the video, by the way, please like the video so that more people can see this video. At that time, the term sporting director, but Europe must be popularizer, because we saw Michael Edwards at Liverpool getting really good players, and then other teams started adapting it. He wasn't the first one. There were sporting directors in other teams. I just know that for a fact, Uguti, Chiefs at that time, it was more like Bobby who was doing the things. And I've said this is a hot take. Ne? I think Stuart Baxter was the beginning of our problems. And people will say, no, you are wrong. Stuart Baxter actually won things for Kaizer Chiefs. So how dare you say that he was the beginning of our problems? Because you look at the squad that he had, Stuart Baxter. He had really good players. He had Letsolonyane. He had George Malulega. Olebese were joining. There was Ospio Shabalala. There were a lot of good players, creative players who could also score goals. Ne? But what kind of football did he start playing with that team? He started playing haram football with that quality squad. And the team was just now playing nonsense football. And after that, because remember, before him, a few years back, you just go back, the era Gamshin Etukral was phasing out slowly but surely. And then, Yena, Baxter just took it to the next level. Because with so much players that he had, he was playing nonsense football. And then they were used to that nonsense football. Steve Kompela comes in, he tries to change the culture, he reaches the final here and there, but things were going south at that time, and they did not have a proper succession plan after Baxter. Baxter might not have been the problem, but our problems started with him, and we're blindfolded by the fact that we were actually winning, and we're not realizing that actually the football is not enticing. There was a time where that man played Umashamaite, Umatoho, Umok and Gold. And then I think there was another fourth defender, and then would play Ukak and Umasilel. And would have a flat six at the back. There was a game where we played a 6-3-1. I was like, wow. Ukat up front, then in midfield it was Malule, it was Ukatsande, Letsolonyana, I think no Shabalal. I'm like, what is he playing? So I think that at that time, our football started taking a bad turn for the worse. But far it be from me to say Baxter is all the problems. I just think our problem started with him. Now, next up is the other comment. So the ship started shrinking in 2015 because the person who was winning things left, but the football was not good. And the person who knew how to win football that way also left. And you see that when they went back to getting him back, Stuart Baxter, what happened is actually the fact that he was still trying to play 2014 football in 2021, and it didn't work. That's why it didn't last, because people had evolved at that time. Humes is saying, did you actually say that Jessica is smarter than all of them? Look at who's doing the job at Chiefs. It's Jessica. So obviously she must be the smarter one in that. Not that they are dumb, the other ones. I think she's just smarter than all of them. And that's why even if Jessica maybe was the sporting director, I'm just throwing it out there, or any other position that's not marketing, I think whichever department you give to Jessica, she's going to run it better, because that lady is so good. And in doing her job, I think people have noticed this. Women who are in high positions, they tend to be really good, because they are not what's this thing? They are not put there by being men, but they have to work hard. Those who work hard. And Jessica had to prove herself. She's not just a girl like her, but she can actually do the job, and she's been doing the job. But Bobby Bastelti team yakubo ngeke senze lutho. David is saying, hola Khosi Mpilo and Khosi Nation, I am humbled by your word and dedication, Pilo. We love this club, and I doubt the feeling is mutual with them Taungs. Because you watch them and you like, hey, laba ngathi they are not as worried as much as we are. But seeing Jessica cried encouraged me in a way, maybe. But then again, I was like, these ones, hey, sugar. Uktina is saying there's a video clip where we saw assistant coach talking through a hidden mic that took me straight to say this is how Mutaung is controlling the game from the closet. I wanted to make a video about all the conspiracy theories that our fans think are happening at Chiefs. Layer Mike, Yogutu Kulman no Pope. There's a possibility Yoguti is just talking to an analyst who's viewing the game from a higher area, because Moses Stadium, you are watching from here, you can just see so much. but from the top you can see everything. So there is that possibility. But this is Kaizer Chiefs, and seeing how they run things, and knowing what we heard about Pirates Uguti, the coaches were being instructed to make changes by someone from the top, then I can't just dismiss that. It's a possibility. Aumandla is saying the ship started sinking when Bobby found Msona using buy one get one free. After that, he kept trying to find stars the same way, but you can't hit the miracle twice. That is so true. Amandla has angithi uyabona ukuthi when was Msona at Chiefs? You look around these 2010s to the, around that time got Baxter, and just slightly before that, it was that time when Bobby was there, and he was doing things that were sort of acceptable. Not acceptable. These other shady things. One, buy one, get one free, and then it ended up not working. But at the same time, more than buy one, get one free, these pre-contract signings with other teams, and then teams started getting smarter, adding this thing, 3-year contract with a year to with an option to extend, and things kind of took a turn from that point. And then Chiefs started complaining about agents, but it's because people were outsmarting Chiefs. Uguti, you're not gonna steal players from us. We're gonna add an option to extend. And then Ubongile is saying, I agree with you, Mpilo. The problem started with Stuart Baxter. No Pope, because he's there. Umes is saying, who's Chiefs' analyst Vel? Since kwahamba lo mjida lo ngiyalikhulula igama lakhe usinapi or something like that. Since that guy left, I don't know who is there now, because I know Guti was part of the scouting team, but also an analyst, and now he's with Bafana. So I think that the problem now is Ugutige, who was left there, because we're never really told. And those kind of things are not, I don't want to say they're not prioritized, but they don't really talk much about the scouting team of Kaizer Chiefs. We just hear mostly about, the coach, the assistant coach, not so much about the scouting team. ML is saying, why Kaizer Chiefs fired Vladimir Vermezovic? Because him and Orlando Pirates coach are the same. They win cups, qualify for top 8, and almost win the league. I think it was that time, because VV came and played some good football. But at the time, they were not sure whether I was going to win anything for Chiefs. So they fired him. And to be honest with you, I won't sit here and say, because, I enjoyed VV's football, man. I'm not going to lie. I'll enjoy Polalga Vermezovic at the time. But whatever decision they took, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Ukamohelo Palan is saying, if Ents can be appointed again and get the players that suit his style of play, can they win the league this time around? You know the problem with Upaxt, with Umintendorp. My biggest problem with that coach is that he eventually gets found out. What do I mean by found out? Every coach has to constantly reinvent themselves. Ne? And Ernst is they keep hiring him everywhere in PSL, but we can talk about why that happens for him and not for everyone. But that's not the point. The point for now is that I feel like Ernst has one way of playing. I watch Cape Town, what's this thing? Cape Town Spurs playing, and I saw they were aggressive for once playing against ATS Galaxy, and they ended up winning that game 2-0 or 2-1 if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, they're aggressive. This is different from Mintendorp. But I guess it's because they view the team as a lower team. However, I would not take Mintendorp at Chiefs right now. Even if you can take Cape Town Spurs and put them back in the MTN 8 sport, I don't care. Because he will win one season and we're going to get back to the position Yoguti. Is he coaching the Chiefs' way? Because even if he wins, people will still say his football is kick and run, right? Because that's what we've been seeing. Even under him, when he was scoring goals with Abonukovic, when teams figured out Uguti, he's using crosses, he's using direct footballs, okay, direct balls from the back. Okay, now we're gonna be smart, we're going to play our tall players. I mean, Upito even said this when was playing against Chiefs. He scored a goal and he went and brought on, I don't know who's this guy, a tall guy, or Adlalil Sundowns at the time. And then they defended aerial balls. And before the game, he did say, we know they're going to play crosses. And after the game, he said, we knew they were going to play crosses. So Minton got figured out really fast. And I don't think coming back for the third time will be of any help to Chiefs. I think we should just move on. Ublade uthi mola mlapho hola weblade. Ukamohelo is saying if ends can sengifundile le. Umandla is saying issue with Vivi was this game lack consistency. We could win cups but the league yeah. But then again, now we're hiring Abonseg. I hear you. You know what's funny? What's funny with Chiefs is that if you look at the teams that have won the league, let's minus the dominance of Sundowns for the past 8 years and go back 20 years from 2016, say 2016 to 1996, you will see Uguti Chiefs never really were winning leagues 3 seasons in a row. We never dominated leagues. Chiefs were cup kings, and that's one thing that worried me, even with coaches like Abo Mshin. I don't think Mshin won the league with Chiefs. He won cups, and every other coach won cups with the Chiefs. And then from time to time, we win a league every 3 years or something like that, or win them 2 years in a row like Kupax. But we never really dominated leagues, which has always worried me. But I guess with Uvermezovic, they were probably starting to correct the issue, and then they were not really correcting anything at that time. And then the other comment is from Umandla is continuing, and he says, also Vivi clashed with players making stars like Apianale cry. Imagine. I'm sorry for laughing, but I'm just thinking, the Chiefs has had players. You know what, man? My problem with the Chiefs is that since players in the team have so much power, it's easy for them to end up disrespecting coaches. And if a player clashes with the coach has to go. I feel like we need a no-nonsense coach who's not going to tolerate any nonsense. It sounds redundant. Who's not going to tolerate any nonsense from the players. I say this, there's no clashing with me. I was realizing this with this other kid. So for those of you who don't know, I am a teacher. So we are preparing in the second term. We are playing in the, the tournament. We have seasons. So the second term is about playing football. So I select my team A and my team B. So there's this kid who's on my team A, and I'm not impressed, because there is some part of his game that are really good. So then I end up getting another kid who was in team A to team B, and I promote him to team A. And then this other kid is like, now I'm getting benched because you brought this person. I'm like, you must understand this. You have to prove yourself to me. I don't care if you're 13. If you grow up with this mentality, Yoguti, you come to me and tell me that I cannot play you or I can play you. You must understand that I'm in charge. And I know that I can say that because that is my team. I coach the under 15s and I will tell them what I want, how I want. It's my team. But you look at our Chiefs, coaches, they don't have that situation of, I have the final decision. It's my way or the highway. Like Abo Pep, how many good players has Manchester City let go? Or even when he wasn't in Manchester City, at Bayern, at Barcelona, Zlatan. Why does he clash with these big players? Because they have big egos, right? They have big egos, but also they must understand their place. Uguti, the coach has the final decision. And it's easier for players, I feel, to respect that if the coach understands what he's doing. So I think that the problem also becomes Uguti. Players know they have so much power, and once they start crying, the bosses are on their side. Please like the video. 98 people watching and only 20 likes. Despicable act. terrorism. I'm joking. I'm joking. Let me read. Umandla is saying, I agree we need a tough coach, but don't insult the players. Maputi Kaizer left Chiefs because he said he want to be at Chiefs if Umshini comes because he disrespected me, and that how we lost a top star. True, I obviously agree with him. There is a thin line. As I was saying, I was talking to this kid, telling him, listen, you have to play a certain way. And this is the standard that I'm setting. You have to do what I'm telling you, or you're not going to play. I didn't say to the kid, you can go to hell. You're not going to play in my team. Obviously, there must be, you must be strict, but still wise and respectful, because just because you have your moral code or your rules or whatnot, that does not mean disrespect other people. But everyone must know their place in a team. Ubongile is saying, I think we need a coach who's strong and don't take nonsense. We do. Like, we really do. Because ilento yokuthi abadlali, they can do whatever they want at Chiefs, and you can tell ukuthi nagna respect for the coach. And you look and you like, does it deserve the respect that people say it deserves? You like, not really. If a coach is not sure what he's doing and he questions himself, everyone else is going to question you. I see good. We are definitely not going to. We're not going to continue to other points. Maybe we're gonna talk about the other points on Saturday because there's no game. So maybe we can have a live stream. By the way, uThabani la ngiyabona because ngiyakhumbula ukuthi TFS management ngiyazi ukuthi ikhiphani ngayi. uThabani is saying, Pilo Bafo, we have a lot of problems, Tina. And what I may tell you first, we need someone who won't be part of family, who will sign players. Why? Because when it comes to signing players, they go for lower cheap players. And second, we need someone who will have a strong mentality and tell bosses to sit down here. Now, he will do the job. And Chiefs also need to get 5 scouting people, not old. You know what? When I'm Futige, you know this because you're my inside man. I've called you by name, but this is my inside man. We're inside man, yeah. You know, with Chiefs, you know better than me because you are with them. You've been inside there. Oh yeah. The thing is, Chiefs, as much as we want them to give things to a coach and have him in charge, the problem is that as a football club, you will have 2 problems with that. One, the coach comes in, he plays positional football, but there is different kinds of positional football. Well, the basics are still there, they are the same, but then coaches tweak them slightly. You look at how Pep plays, he plays positional football. But also you look at how De Zerbi at Brighton plays, it's still positional football, but it's slightly different. Even Pochettino, positional football, slightly different. There are adjustments, which means the type of players they need, Postecoglou at Spurs, positional football. But and that means the profile of players that they need is also going to be different, right? So in that, if you are going to let the coach buy all the players, then you have a problem. That's why I haven't spoken about the coach yet. I'm still talking about just the sporting director. The sporting director will say, this is the type of football we want to play. And these are the players that fit that type of football. For example, in positional football, I'm going to need, if I want to keep position, I'm going to need a player like Samgelo Zwane, that profile, a player who can control the tempo of the game in midfield, but is also physical. I'm going to need players who work very hard when we are pressing, so not lazy players, right? So another coach can come in and say, oh, but I need Umshin. But then I look at this type of football that we want to play. Umshin is good, yes, but the football that we want to play, where everyone is pressing, everyone is marking, does he actually fit that type of football? I know I'm kind of skating on thin ice here when I mention Umshini. But you look at the type of players that Umshini is, he's more of a Mesut Ozil type, a Kaka type. Those players are no longer there in football. And even those who were like that, like Abo Martin Odegaard, they've had to change their style. They are no longer the stars of the team, but they've become part of the team. I press with everyone. I mark with everyone. I create when we have to create, but I also do the going back. Umshin is still the old school number 10. I need the ball to come to me and I will do something with it. Nizoba izimbongolo nina niwini bola nilete game. But if we're shifting towards what Chiefs is trying to do, we can't have a player like that. Or he has to change. And if you get more players like him, then we're going to continue missing what the team is actually trying to do. So that is what I'm saying. The first thing that would need to happen is actually getting a player. Wetaban, uyangibona ukuthi ngi-live, uyangifonela kodwa. Awuthi ngifunda ama comments. Uyaqhubeka la says players because they won't do the right job ngoba bazofuna ukufaka abantu babo, and Chiefs need 3 or more video analysis, and Chiefs need to let other people go. There are players who don't belong. That is true. Vele, I'm expecting that exodus. I'm expecting an exodus in June to see which team who's going to leave and who's not going to leave. I would try this thing. Let me do this. Yeah, I can't do it now because I'm live. Benzo send a link so that you can join. And then ML is saying Liverpool Academy. Oh yeah, I won't say your name. I've already said it and I stopped it from saying it. Our ML is saying Liverpool Academy fit well in the first team, but our academy they struggle. Bradley already challenging Trent. Kaizer Chiefs still stuck with Shant Ichi, who's challenging Matt. That is so true. I think we also need to let go of this mentality of Inganelis, right? Inganelis or Inganelis. We need to stop that, because I made this one other video where I was saying that it seems like the players who are coming from development are actually better than the ones that we have in the senior team. I mean, Utuba has done what no other striker has done for Chiefs in the past 2 years. Like his hold-up play for a short player, but at the same time, his movement, you can clearly see Uguti, he's better than all of the other strikers that we currently have in the team. So it becomes problematic, Uguti, Chiefs are not actually getting more of these youngsters from the development to play. Nandi Parapara, little Mpilo up the backs. Unati teacher is saying, hey, Mr. Mpilo, the way you analyze Kaizer Chiefs, I wish the management were watching your content, because they will keep on messing things up because it's a family business. Someone said on TikTok, hey, Mpilo, you analyze the team so well, they should hire you. And I was quick to say, no, they cannot hire me. I am just a YouTuber who looks at a YouTuber who's also a fan of Kaizer Chiefs, who's just looking at Chiefs and seeing what most people see. And it's strange that the team themselves don't see the things that I see, but not only me, a lot of other people, thousands apparently, because, you know, a lot of people agree with what I'm saying, because you can see clearly. It's therefore also see Guti, there's a problem with our management. TFS management says how fat there are also we need to get that lady who is a fitness trainer, because this one we have, our players are not fit. And do you notice when we're around the 75 minutes, you see our players are tired. And the other things, guys, if you can check our history of football, you will see that Chiefs, all players who were doing good are the players from our academy. And who was our head of academy was Farouk. And now Farouk upizne into zakhe. Upizi manje uFarouk nezinto zakhe, angeke abuye ku-Chiefs. And people now, it's because now we're under the pressure from Sundowns. Yokuthi Sundowns is buying top players, but we're forgetting that there are other teams like Barcelona who have players from development who are always just popping up, like Messi, like Uyamal right now. Just the latest, Abo Iniesta, Abo Xavi. All these players, Abo Busquets, they are coming from that development. And we were in a way doing what Barcelona are doing. But for some reason we decided, nah, screw this. We are not going to do this. So yeah, it's a problem. So why not bring him back so that So why not bring him back so that we will go back there and those players who buy, they don't care about Chiefs, they only care about money. But all these young players who come after Kone, they don't care. I mean, I think that the problem that we have had ne, is ilento leyo ukuthi angazi noma ngizothi i-rivalry yethu between i-Chiefs ne-Pirates is not as intense anymore. It's still well attended and you can still see ukuthi people take pride in playing for Chiefs. But now it seems to me that abomdu, when you see them at first, they care about the success of the team. They really do. But I feel like they find these other senior players who don't care, who are just casual about everything. And then they're like, why should I care? Like, everyone else doesn't care. But on top of that, it's not just that, it's also the fact that the club doesn't also seem to care. So why should I care? So I won't care. And also, you're not playing me anyways, so you end up falling out of love with the club. Kamohelo is saying, I heard the Chiefs can't buy players that are worth more than the league ransom. Yeah, the highest player that they've bought is probably Umteto because it was 8 million to the 10 million mark. So that's below the amount of money from the league, which is weird. I think Chiefs makes way more money from sponsors than winning the competitions themselves. So I think winning the league is not just about the 10 million that you get from the league, but it's more about the exposure that you get and then the sponsors who will want to work with you. Even Sundowns, as much as we always say they are smaller than Chiefs, but winning the league has gotten them way more sponsors, right? So I don't think the Chiefs needs to win things to get more sponsors, but I think it helps. I think it would help a lot. Who played is saying our dear lazy chubby machine Khosi. I'm gonna read the comments up to Sbongile Skabi. That would be the last comment I read because we're over time. Umanda saying Baxter broke Hunt's youth progress. Nsegi broke Zwane's work. This shows management lack a vision to continue the previous coach's work. Our next coach will start playing Madalas after Kevin. That's funny, you know, because one word that we've heard a lot in the past season is continuity this, continuity that. Yet Unsegi, there was no continuity that he did. He just played those young boys in the first game against Chipa, and after that they were nowhere to be seen. So continuity, my foot. Khosi khona is saying uthi kodwa bayayibuka European football labo family business. They are busy hiring coaches who play nonsensical football. Khona lapho asina proper scout. Ay kuning nje mina ngikhathele baf. And I was looking at who's this kid? Not Umfundo. Uduba, after he scored, he said he saw what Foden did when he scored that goal against Arrows. He killed it top corner and Foden had scored that type of goal. So the young players are watching it. The management by Buga and Ihangas. Umanda saying we need Simone Cole, the ex-Highlands Park and Sundowns ladies coach. The lady really knows super fitness. She made Shalulile who he is right now. Angeti, that lady wanted was about to come to Chiefs, but somehow Chiefs tweaked as they always do, and she ended up not coming to Chiefs. And at the end of the day, people said that she's the one who was wrong, but Chiefs are the ones who changed their things, just like they've been changing with a lot of people. Like they lost out on Evanga because they changed the terms of the deal. So Chiefs they're always tweaking. ML is saying, so name 3 players you think will leave in June and why. That, my friend, will be on the next video. Let me take a screenshot of this because we're going to talk about it maybe in tomorrow's video. Last comment, Gabongile is saying, do you think Benny can coach Chiefs? Benny has such a big personality. He would definitely clash with the management, so he won't. Can coach, yes, but will they get him to coach Chiefs? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. If you are watching after the stream, let me know, do you think changing management or changing people in those critical positions will actually help Chiefs? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals al pelumoy.